Hello witches and warlocks, welcome back to my channel. It's nice to see you again. So we're on the final step of your tutorial for your Book of Shadows, which is awesome. So we are going to carry on with the rest of our book, and today we are actually going to finish it, which is going to be amazing. So we need today some PVA glue. You will need you'll need some super glue, as always. Make sure you get quite a bit of this, because if you are watching these videos and then going out to get what you need, make sure you get quite a bit of glue. You may need to go back to the shop again. Here we go. We need a pen. We'll need some scissors. You will need a ruler. You will need the card that hopefully you made from the last video. You will need your end papers, whatever you've decided to use, and you'll need a little paintbrush. So that's what you're going to need for this next part of the tutorial. So what we're going to do is we're going to head on down and we're going to finish our book. So I'm going to show you what I've done. I've already done one side already, so it's all set to go. And the next thing we're going to do is to finish the book is the other side. So I'm going to point you down, and here we go. Right, let's see if this is going to work without falling over. I think we're all right. There we go. Perfect. So as you can see, we've got our ribbons in, which you saw in the last video. I put my end page in, which is this one. I decided to use it. Is like an old scripture type thing. It looks quite worn, and it's got writing on it that I can barely read what the writing is. It just looks very old and very tattered, so I quite like to look at that, so I thought I'd have it as my end page. So this is where we left off. I've done my side already, but I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. So you should have a flap, two flaps like this, and this is how you do it. So you'll need your little card piece that I asked you to do. Now, if you have done this with a 4-hole punch, because I only had a 2, voila, I only had a 2, I had to measure it out. But if you had a 4-hole punch, it's not going to be an issue. You are just going to measure it out and do it. If you have done it like myself, I would suggest doing a template like this. So you don't have to do all the thousands of lines. I did all these thousands of lines just in case I needed to make any more, if anything went wrong. But this bottom one here is a template. And the template, okay, is so that you know that when you stuck these both in, that you will have the exact measurements from this book in case you ever have to use it again. And when you put your pages in, obviously your blank parchment or paper, whatever you're putting in here, you'll need to measure out where your holes are going to go on your paper if you haven't done it with a 4-hole punch. If you've done it with a 2, or you've measured it out, then you will need one of these. Okay, so make sure you do that before you stick your last one in. So how we do this is that we take this up to the line. Okay, so this is going to place exactly where you're going to have your fold, and that should be at the very end of the board, okay, along the spine, okay, and that's where you want it to stay. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your glue. Okay, so I've got some glue here, and you have to be quite delicate with this next step. Okay, so make sure you're really delicate with it, okay, because this has to be precisioned pretty much how you want it. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to place some glue. Try not to move it because I did. because I'm stupid. Place your glue along here. Now this is super glue I'm using, so it will stick quite quick. Okay, so once you've got your glue on, this is the most trickiest bit, is making sure it's lined up where you want it. You don't want it to move. And then do this nice and gentle. Fold this over. See, it can be tricky. Fold this over. See, you gotta be careful, you don't want it to be skew-whiff. Okay, you want to do it nice and gentle. You don't want it to move. And once you've got it, then you can really go firm with it. Okay, once you've got it in place, get it stuck to that lever. Again, sometimes it may it can tear a little, but that doesn't matter because we just want it stuck to our pleather like that. And you say, why don't you just stick it straight to the lever? There's a reason for that, because we want it to be as close to the binding as possible. So placing it along there means that you're going to get a nice firm edge. You're going to get as close to that to there as possible. Okay, so that's stuck really well and nice and even as we can. Okay, so that's stuck down. The next step, okay, is sticking the other side. But before we do that, jumping ahead of myself, scissors. This is where the scissors come in. You'll see there's 4 holes. Okay, so we've got to make our 4 holes in our leather. So all you want to do is pop your scissors through the pleather. Now, if you're having real leather, this might be a bit tougher. I haven't got real leather, as I said. It's pleather. It's fake leather. You can pick up in a haberdashery, wherever you want to get it from. So once you poke your holes through, make sure that they're nice and wide and they're in the right place, because that is where your guide holes for your binding's going to be. So once you've done that, then we can glue the other side. Okay, so make sure you put your holes through. You'll need those holes. Okay, so then you can be a little more gentle with this next step. Okay, it might tear, it might get stuck to your board, that doesn't matter, because again, like I said, all this is going to be covered. So all these cardboard, all this paper that we're using, all of it gets covered. Okay, so it's only really leather, the end papers that you really have to take your time with and do it nice and neatly. And because this is stuck down as well, I'm trying to be as neat as I can with this gluing. Okay, so once you've got that glued, you want to then fold over your pleather onto the card. Okay, now this is a difficult bit. You want to get it nice and tight as you can. Make sure you squeeze it nice and tight onto there. Run your fingers along, don't want any bubbles. You want it to stick well. You see how that's now coming together. Okay, so that's now stuck. I like to always double check, because the glue doesn't give you that much time to really get it glued. So you've got to be nice and quick, but nice and firm, and nice and precise. Okay, but these are the bits that are really tricky anyway. So you've already made your holes one side, so we're going to make them go through the other side now. So you can see where your rips and your lever are. Okay, like so. Okay, so those holes are in. Again, we'll come back to those, but you can put them in now. Okay, so the next thing is we're going to stick in our lever. So I'm going to tuck that in to around about there. Tuck that in there. And then what you do is you run your pen along. Again, this doesn't have to be precise. Just a rough measurement. Okay, and this is so that we know where we want to put our glue. Okay, so we're going to go back to our super glue. I'm doing this fairly quickly, so but you can watch it back. Okay, now we want to glue this down. So we go right to the edge, remember, because we want it to stick, and then we go down the inside. I always like to make a zigzag all the way down and then fill in the gaps. Okay, make sure you get right to the edge of your board. Again, don't be shy to use a lot of glue, because we want it to stick. It doesn't matter. Okay, remember to do the lever side as well, because the lever is going to stick down onto the lever as well. Okay, so that seems to be glued tons. I've gone through so much of this glue. Okay, now this is bit, you want to get it tucked in as much as possible. Okay, so tuck that in there, and then stick down. You want it to go nice and flat. Okay, again, it doesn't matter, as you can see on here, that it's scarif and it's not level. And I'm gluing my fingers again. But push down. That's it. Now, super glue on lever is actually pretty decent, because it will let it move, but the cardboard or the board, not so much. Now again, I've got a little trick for you. If you have a responsible adult in the house, or you are a responsible adult, you're a lady or a man, doesn't matter, this will work for everyone. Now glue, like I have just got super glue on my fingers, I have worked out that you can use a razor. So just a normal Bic, well, not so much a Bic, I have a Gillette, like a Gillette 4-in-1 sort of thing, like 4 blades with a cushion. Again, you ladies have your Venus, or whatever it is you use to shave your legs. Us boys have to shave our chins and whatever, I don't. But I shave my neck and stuff, but I have a razor. So basically, the cool thing about a razor is that it's perfect for your skin. You can run it across your skin and it doesn't cut you. However, if you have glue on your skin, it will take it off. It will take super glue straight off. So use an old one. Obviously don't use the one you're using because that's a waste. But one of your old discarded ones, don't throw it away. Just attach it again. You know, the ones that have lost the little strip and you're not using anymore, maybe gone a little bit blunt. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just use them and just run it across your hand, like nice and soft, and like just like you would your face and or your legs, and yeah, it will take the super glue right off. Bit of hot water, perfect. Right, so you can see this is all stuck down now, and now it's beginning to look more and more like a book. How cool is that? So now the last little bit that we're going to do that's going to involve gluing is your end paper. Okay, so I am going to switch this around, I do believe, because I want it to be the same on both sides. And I do believe that is the way, yep. So, here we go. So I'm going to put my end paper in now. So I'm just going to double check that it's right, about this right size. Yep, it is. Right, so that's perfect. Okay, so it leaves a little tiny gap. Now what I did is, because obviously you've got these, this is going to be, you want it slightly smaller. So I did an A4, so what I did is I took a centimetre from one edge, not the edge you're going to use your spine on. So you want a straight edge on the spine, and then you want to cut a centimetre of each end, so top and bottom, and then, or if you want to just cut an inch off one end, sorry, not an inch, a centimetre and a centimetre off there, and then it will fit with a little tiny border around. You just want a tiny little border, you don't want too much. Okay, so I measured mine out, but again, do yours to how you like it. So I'm going to put that to one side for 1 second, and then it's a little thing I learnt to do, which seemed to have worked out for my other page, and I watched a video. God, that's not good. Oh man, that's interesting. Right, so I seem to have broke my glue, but it doesn't matter. It's going to do the same job. So you're going to put a tiny little bit of glue on the board. So you want PVA for this one. And you're going to spread that out, again all over your board. Again, don't be so generous. With this one, you only need to cover the board. You don't want to cover the leather, because the leather will not be, on the outside is like of the leather, obviously it's a shiny plastic, and leather is quite a shiny material. Well, this is anyway, a shiny material. And it doesn't take to PVA very well. You need like a wood for PVA or paper for PVA. Pleather, I mean, one side of pleather sticks quite well. I mean, we used it for, obviously, to bind our book, to put the leather across. But putting paper to leather on like the outside of the leather or pleather won't work. It will slide, and it'll probably stick, but it will just take forever, and you don't really want that. You want your paper to stick nice and neat straight off the bat. So we put PVA glue in the center there. While that's going tacky, you want to take your super glue and go around your pleather. Okay, because super glue is going to be the thing that's going to work. That's why you need a few bottles, a few tubes of super glue. Okay, be fairly generous, but you don't have to go mad. As long as you've got some on there. Just make sure you've got all of it though. You want to keep it about 1 centimetre away from the edge. Again, you will use about a tube of the glue just to be safe, because they're only little anyway. Just make sure you cover everything. Okay, now making sure you've got your paper the right way, you want to stick it down. Making sure you get it in the middle. So, again, there we go. Super glue on my fingers. Be very careful. Okay. It will happen, but like I said, I have got super glue on my fingers, but I will get that off with a razor. Just a bit. And then get your middle. Because your super glue, be careful that you don't get super glue everywhere. And make sure you get the middle of the PVA section. Really press that down, because that's the bit that's going to bubble if anything. But it doesn't matter if it does bubble, because it's going to add to the effect. You want it to look old, you want it to look tattered, you want it to look as if it's getting on a bit. And by the way, these are amazing pages that I managed to find. And they, from the works, it came in a big book like this. There we go. Came in a big book like that. And it's called Romantic Escapes. And it's just, yeah, it cost me £3 from the works. It's a massive big book of different things that I showed you last time. So that's where these pages come from. So if you want the same pages as me, go to the works and you'll see, you find it's called Romantic Escapes, the one I got. You want to get the same pages, and it's got some really nice ones in there actually. I actually got a picture frame that I really like today from B&M, and I was going to put a picture of me and my mates from my old job in the frame, and turns out I got the frame too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of these cards, well, covering papers, to put behind it, and then put the picture over the top, and then put it in to the frame, so the picture's in the middle, and then so it borders it. It's going to be hopefully really nice. So let's hope that works. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have our book. Now it's going to be a bit stiff at first. Okay, so you need to let things dry, but just like bending these over, they will become more more free as you use your book. But yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to bring you back up. Like so. Right. Well, that is it, boys and girls. Witches and Warlocks. That's our book. All done. As you can see, it's all in there. All put together, all nice and neat. I mean, I should really let this dry a little before I start using it. And I will do. The next thing, obviously, that you're going to need is your binding screws, which everyone should have by now, but again, it's totally up to you what you want to use. I actually have my binding screws down here, or potentially my other binding screws. Okay, so they're going to go across my book. I'm just going to lift that up. So across there, in between, so you put them through the holes, and then your paper goes onto these, and then you thread them into there. But I will show you that when I finish my book and put all the pages in and do all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so the holes now, you've made your holes, you're just going to push your binding screws through those holes, 4 different holes, and then you're going to put your paper in the middle. And then that's it, done. So yeah, so that is, ladies and gentlemen, Witches and Warlocks, boys and girls, your book done. That's your last tutorial. So I do hope you've enjoyed these tutorials, and hopefully it's helped you put your book together. Again, my tips are, do your own thing. You know, just because I do it like this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it like this. You know, take what I've shown you, take, tips from other witches and other people online. There are other tutorials online on how to make your Book of Shadows. My way isn't always exactly, going to be the way that you want to go. But if you do like the way I've done it, you like the way my book looks, because I am so pleased with the way this one has come out. It looks so much more neater and tidier than my other one did when I finished it. Now again, before I carry on, if you want to, you can put something on the front cover. It's totally up to you. I'm not going to, purely because I like it plain. I'm not fussed. It looks like a book. It's going to be really nice once it all gets together, and it's going to do its job. But yeah, you can design anything you want. You got glue or sticky gems. You could put a pentacle. You could put the triquetra if that's what you want to do. You want to go the Book of Shadows. It depends on whatever, Tree of Life, whatever you like on there. Totally up to you. So yeah, so that is your Book of Shadows. So tips for you, take your time, don't rush it, because it's taken me a good couple of weeks to do this, to get it right. I mean, I did stop and start, obviously, and I've been away, but it's finally done, and I was patient with it, and I think it's turned out all right. So I will show you the completely finished book once it's all paged up and stuff, and there's stuff in it maybe, and that's it. I'm just jabbering on now. So yeah, so I do hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed doing them. Hopefully there's going to be some more videos coming your way. In fact, I know there's going to be some more videos coming your way, because I've already got my next 3 or 4 planned. So I'm having great fun. I hope you have. And remember, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, witches and warlocks, you be you, and blessed be.